2, 1.
Hello there.
Hello, Josh. How are you?
You're probably wondering why we're looking at pixelated belly dancing.
Oh, are you? Shit. I am. I had I had Discord minimized, so it was still in the title screen, and I didn't realize it was frozen because of the fucking title screen. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's playing the opening video right now.
I'm sorry you guys missed the pixelated belly dancing. Our people will never forgive us for this. Like, I know our audience.
All right, Chaz, you know this game better than I do. What am I playing?
Oh, I love this game so much. Okay, so for a while, well, I guess you talk about the purpose of the Grand Historia first, and then I will take over about Skies of Arcadia.
It's just a bit of a half-baked idea I've had where I'm like, I love JRPGs, and I love looking at things in a historical context, and so a little under a year ago, I bought a book called the JRPG History Book from Bitmap Books, and it's a really cool book that kind of gives like brief reviews and summaries of JRPGs throughout like the past, what was it, like 45 years? And so like I got a bit of a foolish idea that like someday I'd like to not play all of these games because some of them look like hot garbage despite having historical value in the sense of the development of gaming over time. But I'd like to at least play all the good and interesting looking ones, and well, if I'm gonna do that, I might as well stream it. And so Chaz told me, like, hey, now that you finished playing Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, you should try playing another GameCube classic, which is Skies of Arcadia, which currently goes for about, like, what, $150?
Oh, no, you wish. The last time I looked it up, it was going for like $200 to $250 complete in bucks.
Oh, nice. Completely reasonable.
Because this is another one of those games that, like, it's a huge cult classic, and it's really good, and the owners give no fucks. They're just completely sitting on the IP. They haven't re-released it anywhere. Just, you know, if you want to play it, eat shit. But anyway, Skies of Arcadia Legend. This is absolutely one of my... This is my favorite JRPG of all time. Final Fantasy IV... I know it's a weird choice, that's not 6 or 7, but Final Fantasy IV, close second. But this one, my absolute favorite. It is about science fantasy steampunk sky pirates. It's super fucking dope, and you get to like fucking shipboard battle Skies of Chazcadia, almost. Now, to my own chagrin, I have not played this game in probably since I owned a GameCube, so when this game was fairly current. I do need to crack it open again, but yeah, I hounded Josh on this one. I was like, dude, you have to try this one. He loves JRPGs, I love this JRPG, and if you've never seen it, my god, you were missing out.
The adventure is just beginning. But you said we were talking about how expensive some of these classic games are, and you were like, I'm sure my mom sold this game for like $10.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, because after my mom threw me out, she sold all my shit, and I fucking had a complete in-box Skies of Arcadia Legends. Motherfucker, I had the manual, the disc, everything. And I obviously don't have it anymore, and I know my mother didn't know what it was worth. So I'm absolutely sure she just took it to the nearest fucking pawn shop and got maybe $100 for my whole collection.
No, Chaz, I don't know if I have the Rumble Pack installed on my controller.
Well, that'd be a neat trick considering that the GameCube didn't have a Rumble Pack, but...
I know. I always think of the N64 where it was like, do you have the Rumble Pack?
What about the expansion pack?
I was like, damn, I forgot you had to buy that separately.
The Game Boy Transfer Pack?
Oh, no, the Rumble Pack for the... Didn't the N64 did not come with a native Rumble Pack, didn't it?
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm listing the various packs.
Oh yeah, I had the transfer cable.
I think the transfer pack only ever worked for Pokemon Stadium. So interesting. Something will be interesting only to you, Josh. This game actually inspired quite a bit of the Fabula Ultima campaign that we're playing. In little subtle ways. I'm very loose with my inspiration, and it's probably nothing that you would recognize yet. But again, I love this game so much it couldn't help but bleed in.
See, that's why I appreciate that your to-be-read reading list is so long, because sometimes I recommend books to you, and I'm like, if he only knew, I clearly stole some of this stuff for my Changeling Chronicle. So it's a good thing you haven't read Blood Meridian yet.
I really need to. I've been meaning to read that forever, and then, like, Cormac McCarthy fucking died, and everybody was talking about how good Blood Meridian was. Like, fuck, I need to do it, but once again, my TBR shelf is glaring at me right now.
Alfonso clearly looks like a douche.
Oh yeah. So actually, I loosely based an NPC off of Alfonso, although my version is a significantly better person, I think. But he's not great.
Her ship is in range of our cannons.
Also, if you guys haven't played Fabula Ultima and you like tabletop RPGs and/or JRPGs, I don't know why you hate yourself. That game is so good. Oh shit! I have it sized poorly because the text box is cutting off. Let me fix, friends. Give me just
I'll
a
give
bit.
you a second.
Thank you, friend.
While Alfonso says fire. Is he meant to be a bit of a what's his name? Char Aznable from Gundam kind of guy?
No, Char was competent.
Okay, this guy's incompetent.
This guy is Ambrose from Kingkiller Chronicle.
Oh, I get that reference.
I mean, if you don't get that reference, that just means you need to go read Kingkiller Chronicle, or at least the Name of the Wind. Wise Man's Fear, you can wait till Doors of Stone comes out, if ever.
But yeah, you can't have a JRPG without an airship. And from my understanding, this game is nothing but airships and islands.
Yeah, that's basically the setting. There is a down there. Hey, what's up, Yusuf? How's it going? War is the ultimate game because war is at last forcing the unity of existence. War is God. You're crazy, Holden. The judge smiled.
Oh, that's a Blood Meridian reference.
I recognize the name of the judge.
I was telling you as I was reading the history segment in the book. Apparently, Skies of Arcadia in this game is a reference to Arcadia of My Youth, which is a space pirate Captain Harlock movie. It sounded like an explosion. Status report now. Is it the pirates? You're getting fucking robbed, Alfonso.
You know, I never noticed when I was a kid, but that giant fucking helmet has to be just miserable.
No.
They don't have any air holes in that bitch either.
Also, with how big and heavy looking it is, like that's got to hurt your neck when it's like open and it's trying to like tilt your head back, probably.
Well, it looks like it's attached to the fucking. God, I should know. I should know, but like off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of is plate body, which is ostensibly a RuneScape reference. God, what's it fucking called? God damn it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like attached to the breastplate.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it just kind of like sits on you like police body armor. I don't know. Also, they can't see shit unless they're fucking frog people.
Maybe it's got a HUD on the inside.
You know, it might. In this setting, that's not impossible.
Hey, robbing a government or a military vessel is always a ballsy move on the part of a pirate. Normally you go for merchant vessels because they don't have a whole lot of protection on them.
Yeah, but these are blue rogues. They're the nice guy pirates.
Gentlemen pirates?
It's only the, I think it was the Black Sail Buccaneers that attack innocent merchants and kill people. Oh, you're about to fuck up a lot of shit, so.
No, so I'm less of a pirate. I'm more of like, what would it be, a corsair?
That seems like a semantic difference. Like you're still pirating.
I'm still stealing stuff. I'm just stealing it from a evil government. Okay.
Okay. Check it out. You see how your sword is red? Before
Yes.
you do anything else, press your X and Y buttons.
Ah.
So, magic in this setting comes from the 6 moons above. Each one is elementally aligned, and you can use the moonstones. You currently have 2, the red and the green, to enchant your weapons. And when you target the bad guys, you will see that they have a colored border. And depending on that colored border, they will take more or less damage. See, those guys are aligned yellow.
Okay, so they'll take more damage from red.
Okay, see, here's the thing. It's not a Pokemon-style rock, paper, scissors. It's an Excel-style spreadsheet. So
Okay.
I have the spreadsheet here, and I will do my best to interpret it for you. I cannot be 100% sure that I'm reading it correctly. So it looks like yellow does not like blue or silver.
Oh, that's too bad for me. Okay, so I got attack, guard, and special move, I'm assuming, which I don't have access to yet. I'm assuming special moves are built up by that gouge above?
Yeah, that green
Or
bar,
H.
that's your spirit, and that'll charge over time, but your entire party shares it. You can decide to focus, which is that blue starburst looking symbol on the bottom, and a character will spend a turn filling it.
Ah, okay. In case I want to purposefully build up to a special move. Okay, that makes sense. He only has red and green. Okay.
Yeah, once again, once you collect more moonstones, your party shares them. So you unlock one, it unlocks for everybody.
Ah, so the enemies are moving around?
Yeah, so Vice doesn't really care about like positioning too much because he's your single target damage guy. Aika gives a shit a whole bunch because she's your AoE damage. So like she has attacks that will target like a specific cone of effect and stuff, and then I mean you better hope that you got enough stuff in that cone to be worthwhile.
Okay, is there a way to figure out where people are going to move?
No, you just tell them what to do and they do it.
Okay. That was a very small amount of experience.
Huh. I forgot that your fucking moonstones level up too. So that's how you learn new magic. So
Okay.
so the more that you use specific colors in combat, the more shit you get for it.
You didn't count that one of us just had a fucking gun. Oh, that's my papa?
That is indeed Papa. He's super cool.
Is he gonna die?
I'm not telling you.
Hey, it's a JRPG. My mentor or somebody close to me is going to die.
I mean, do you actually want me to spoil it?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
I love the open cut in the sleeves, though. Very, very anime.
And again, closed with buckles, because of course. It's not a JRPG unless you find a way to insert excessive belts.
Why did we let the 90s do this to us?
Now, I do, like I said, this is kind of an old, that's a treasure chest, by the way. This is kind of
I figured I was looking around the room.
Yeah. So like I said, this is an old-style JRPG, so there are random battles.
Okay, do I see them on the map, or do they just come at me?
They just come at you. We didn't have the processing power back in the Dreamcast days.
Hey, this is the GameCube title.
It's a GameCube remake.
Okay, so... Okay, the map generates as I move. How much should I be looking out for, like, secret things?
There's treasure chests and stuff tucked away. It doesn't hurt. But like I said, you are risking a slapperoo if you wander around too much. I actually managed to soft lock this game once because I was super outnumbered in battle, and the sleep spell doesn't take effect right away. Like it ticks a little bit. So I cast sleep. The enemy cast sleep. Both of the parties completely fell asleep, and the game didn't know what to do, so it just sat there.
Oh.
And I was super pissed off. I had to reset, and I lost like a fucking hour or two.
Ooh, that's always the worst.
I thought it was funny. I mean, I still remember it to this day, so it had to be worth something.
Yeah. Someone of your foolish vice, rich people always kidnap people. No.
All right, good night, Mazzy. Have a good one.
You know, there's a little bit of voice acting.
I did not remember Alphonse having that foppish of a voice.
Ooh, 4 enemies.
What will you do?
Okay, still all red, so it doesn't matter. Special move.
I do like the soundtrack though. Like it's very Sega. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Sega and Capcom always have these super what do you call it? Like just super distinctive soundtracks. Although I guess Sonic the Hedgehog kind of bucks that trend. So.
Uh-huh. I mean, it might just be their whoever was their music producer in house has a particular style.
Very true.
Can I try to position myself between him and her, or?
They're just gonna run around you. There's not like
Okay.
a movement distance. Oh, oops! That was a response to a funny story about the game soft locking. I was pissed at the time, but now I just think it's kind of neat that I found a way to do that.
A whole 2 experience.
Hey, that's enough.
Oh, okay. So I don't need experience in the hundreds, I guess.
Not yet. I want to say I beat this game somewhere around like the high 40s, low 50s. Because the game has like 3 false endings, which is another reason why I remember it so much. Oh yeah, that first person view is going to become important when you get like eye patch upgrades. Yeah, I want to say I beat it. Sorry, that's one of the reasons I remember this game so much is because I thought the game was going to end like 3 separate times and then fucking like third act plot twist again.
Once again, Chaz, you should have known you were playing a JRPG.
Oh, you don't know how JRPG this is, or maybe you do. I don't know. Is the
I mean,
real
it's
end?
not a JRPG unless they freaking like fake out your ending at least 3 times.
Is the real ending killing God? No, but it's not far off.
Once again, it's not a JRPG if you don't kill God.
I don't think this setting has gods per se, but it basically has titans.
Oh no, a miss. My bold plan of taking them out one by one. Oh, I think Homeboy got winded.
No, he's just super injured. If memory serves,
Special moves.
if you want to be, I think she can Delta Storm now. I don't know if she'll get a chance before. No, I guess not. Maybe she has to level up to get Delta Storm.
Zachary? Okay, I'm assuming that's a healing spell.
Yeah, and your Zachary Crystal. Oh, I forgot. Your fucking your mana. That's your mana too.
Oh, the gauge above.
Yeah. But your Zachary Crystal that you have in inventories, those are your potions. But yeah, I, like late game, all I ever did with the mana bar, like I rarely cast spells. I just charge it up and have Vice use his ultimate Pirate's Wrath, which just skull fucks anything vaguely in front of him.
I'm glad the wind battle animation isn't super long. I've played some JRPGs where it's like, oh my god, it's like 30 seconds.
Which one was that?
Sacred crystals. I think one of the Star Ocean games.
Oh, I've never played Star Ocean.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else. I'm just gonna go upstairs.
Oh, regarding secrets, when you find out what the fuck Cupel is, you're absolutely going to want to start looking around for stuff.
Ooh boy. Does my health automatically regenerate after every battle?
I don't believe so.
Okay, that's kind of what it looked like. Or maybe I'm just not paying attention enough.
Well, because see, Ike is still half injured, but you, because you sacried Vice right before the end.
You fools! I've leveled up.
Yeah, that's why there's 4 of them now.
I'll go ahead and heal her. Or maybe I won't.
No, you won't. Fuck off. Eat shit, nerd.
That was easy.
I'm fairly certain you can cast spells outside of combat. Maybe I just went through a lot of Sacred Crystals, I don't remember.
Ooh, I got a moonberry.
I don't for the life of me remember what the fuck that did.
Okay, there is a vague maze. I don't think there's fucking anything that way. Okay. As much as I am willing to grind levels out, I don't think it's beneficial just yet.
Nah, this part's pretty linear. When you get to like the big ass temples, that's when.
Get over here and fight me, nerd!
Yeah, Alfonso's that Nemesis character you spend half the game wanting to punch in the face.
Every JRPG needs one. The guy's like, God, it's gonna be so satisfying to kill you.
I recently had that experience. I've been playing Batman Arkham Asylum, which that game fucking took over my life for the past couple days. But anyway, yeah, I had that same feeling with Scarecrow in that game, because Scarecrow like fucks with you repeatedly. I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to fucking punch him out. You never actually get to punch him out. Like you go through his bullshit gauntlets like 3 times, and at the end he's taken out by Killer Croc.
Ooh, I think that was a critical hit.
It was indeed.
That wasn't so bad.
I need 2 more for the next level.
I believe in you, Josh. Eventually you'll see level 3.
He's already leveling up faster than my D&D character.
Hey man, I tried.
I believe you. Can I pull this? Oh, does that like turn off the random encounters?
You know, I don't know. I've never found that switch.
Can I use items outside of combat?
Oh, you should be able to. Items for sure. But try casting, well, I guess you can do whatever you want. I was going to say try casting Sacri just so you don't have to waste the potion.
I thought it wasted the potion every time I used it.
No. Sacri is a spell. Sacri
Oh,
Crystal is your healing potion.
Ah, okay, I get it.
I guess you do have a limited number of MP outside of combat.
I'll leave it like that for now. Super moves.
Oh, moonberries are how you learn the supers. Okay. I think Alpha Storm only requires like 4 SP or something. Yeah, 4 SP.
And you remember this game quite well.
I loved it so much. I still do.
Ooh, well, let me even look down at the next one. Okay. Well, I used that one on accident, but it's okay.
I honestly, was it fucking Alpha Storm? Yeah, Alpha Storm was probably the best one, because that's an AoE. And if memory serves, I think most of Vice's special moves are honestly kind of worthless. Cutlass Fury is pretty great. Pirate's Wrath is amazing. I want to say his next one's like some kind of like super counter, but like I never used it.
For some reason, he wasn't wearing his uniform.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta go naked. Gotta free the beast, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I forgot to ask him. I'm gonna have to look for save points.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Now,
so,
Obviously, since you paid the requisite $250 and acquired a perfectly legal copy, that's going to be your only source of saving.
See, we had the little GameCube icon. I paid an exorbitant amount of money for this game. Magic Droplet 2? What does that do?
I'm pretty sure that's MP regeneration. That's like an ether. Oh, I don't...
Restores 1 MP for 1 ally.
Oh, yeah, go back. Hit the B button. Okay, you see that right there? Wait. Go back. One time. Right there, Vice the Unimpressive.
Yeah. Oh.
You can actually raise that. And I don't remember, there's some kind of endgame reward for getting it. I think it's like, I think the top one's like Vice the Legendary. But I don't remember what you get for getting that. If memory serves, however, I think the titles were added in the GameCube port. I could be wrong about that. I never actually played the Dreamcast one. I wanted a Dreamcast when I was a kid. I had a Sony PlayStation.
One of my cousins had one. That's how I played the original Jet Grind Radio. You'll never get through this door. I've locked it. So long, rogue.
You know, I never put this together as a kid. But after having played D&D, you'd think the last thing that could stop a rogue would be a locked door.
I know, right? or just one good barbarian with enough good rolls.
So if memory serves, I think the boss fight is coming up. He does have like line of effect attacks. And he's kind of a brick shithouse, but other than that, I don't think he's too bad.
If these were super modern graphics, I might be getting a little vertigo right now.
You think so?
It's like I don't have like a fear of heights, but like the idea of being like in large, like on, basically in being in a space where I could fall either into the sky or the ocean makes me a little nervous.
Dude, so my whole life, I've had this weird thing about, like, looking up into the empty sky. Like, do you ever get that feeling like you could just fall upward at any moment? Like, I know it's a completely irrational thing, but for some reason, like, there's a primal monkey part of my brain that I look up and I want to clutch the earth for dear life.
I don't get that feeling, but I do get the, what is it, the L'appel du Void?
Call of the Void?
The Call of the Void.
Oh, I understand that. That happens to me in a lot of little ways.
Oh, this man has little sea holes in his helmet.
He's super important.
I lost my ship to air pirates in a fair fight. A rapier. I do wish I could do fencing again.
Oh, you did fencing before? I never knew that.
I took it as a semester in college as an elective.
Oh, you are so fucking cultured, dude. You are awesome. I am but a humble barbarian in your presence. Mazzy says, my friend had the same fear of falling up. Like one day that will happen. I don't understand it. Like when I was a little.
It sounds like a premise for a Junji Ito short.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Well,
one day people start falling up into the sky.
Well, when I was a little kid, you know, I grew up during like the major UFO craze, so I always attributed it to like a fear of being abducted by aliens. But now I don't like looking straight up into the empty sky. For some reason, it fucking unnerves me, and I don't understand it. Daestra, I think I've been experiencing that nausea that Sartre describes. Need to finish the book though. Also got The King in Yellow in the mail today.
Oh, nice. That's a fun one. By Ambrose Chambers. I'll never forgive you for this, Alfonso. That's always like my personal cringe line in anime stuff is the I'll never forgive you.
I think that's like, how can I put it? I think it's just like a Japanese cognate or something. Like I think it might mean something colloquially different because I noticed that happened a lot. So I mentioned a while, and I sent you the link, that I found the original record of Lodos War, the
Yeah.
D&D campaign replay.
Yeah.
one of the characters was like a lawful good fighter. And he's like, oh, I cannot forgive evildoers. And there's one part where he's like, oh, I cannot forgive this evil empire that's trying to expand. Well, clearly the empire's never done like anything to him specifically. So I think that's just like a trick of translation where like it means something different.
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory, at least. I don't actually know. Daestra says Robert Chambers. He heard interesting things about it, and it seems like a quick read.
Oh yeah, it's like 130 pages. It's like, what, 5 or 7 short stories? If I'm being honest, the only one I really remember really well is the actual... Well, I don't think there's one specifically about the King in Yellow, is there? It just kind of gets referenced in the other stories. But it's been about a year since I've read it, and like, it was short, so once again, I read it pretty quickly.
My advice for this fight is to keep their health up, because his special will fuck you straight in the mouth.
Okay. I will attack for now. That did nothing!
Try the red blade.
Oh yeah, I didn't even fucking look at the circle, did I?
I mean, I don't have the Excel spreadsheet memorized. I can't guarantee that the red blade is better. I just want you to remember that it's an option. I think red is better than green against yellow. I think green is like 90% damage and red might be like 110.
I think that did do a little better. Is that the special you mentioned?
That's a special.
Sweet, Jeebus.
Yeah, it hurts.
I do like that the battle beast name is just Antonio.
You know, I never fucking thought of that. I just took it for granted that he named the fucking like bull thing. Daestra says, still have to finish Blood Meridian 2, but I'm not going to lie, I'm a little over halfway through, and I'm kind of shocked Wendigoon was able to make like a 4 or 5 hour video or something on it.
I get recommended those kind of videos more often. It's amazing how long the video essay has gotten.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, people like Cormac McCarthy scholarship is like a pretty big thing, like in literature, like in literary academia. Like, I'm sure people have written books about, their interpretations of Blood Meridian.
I can only salivate and dream about what it must be like to be taken that seriously as an author.
Yes, all you have to do is write one genre-defining book or a piece of historical significance.
It sounds so easy.
Anyone could do it.
I mean, theoretically, I like to think that's true. I would very much like to believe that anybody can write.
Stephen King seems to think so.
Well, specifically in on writing, okay, so you do have Spirit for Cutlass Fury. I would recommend trying that out, because that'll hurt this guy pretty good. Specifically, he says he used to think everybody can write. Now he thinks
most people can write.
Yeah. A significant portion of the population has the equipment, but the equipment has to come with the original package or it doesn't.
Oh, there we go. He's almost dead.
The Cutlass Fury is a fucking banger.
What did that do? Like 180 damage last time? Okay, I'm okay. I'll live. Ooh, do I have enough magic to heal? Nope. It's up to you, Aika. No, at least he pointed it in a different direction. That's polite of him.
I think if you did have Vice and Aika lined up, though, it would hit both of them.
Good thing I missed. Actually, can I just use an item to heal? Yes, I can. Oh, because she's out of MP, okay. What does Alpha Storm do? He did. One of my favorite special move things, though, is God, now I can't remember the name of the RPG. Chrono Trigger, where some of the special moves create combos together.
You know, I've played Chrono Trigger before. I've never gotten that far into it. I actually own like several different mobile versions of Chrono Trigger, and I've just never sank significant time into them. It's on my, well, we've been talking about my TBR list a couple times in this.
Ooh, another special move.
Maggie says, I honestly think a person can get a lot of ink spilled about their words if they can just craft one good sentence. I don't know if I agree with that, because I've put a lot of effort into trying to craft several good sentences, and it hasn't done me a whole lot of favors.
You'll rue the day you met me as I bravely run away.
It's a tactical retreat, Josh.
How does it go in Monty Python? Brave Sir So-and-so bravely ran away.
Believe it or not, I've never actually seen a Monty Python movie. I wanted to all the time. My parents always just said it was stupid. So, like, that's another reason why I never got to watch Star Trek until adulthood. I begged them to watch Star Trek. Like, oh, it's stupid.
I was going to say, I, from what you've told me about your family, I personally wouldn't respect their opinion on media.
Nor should you. Anything that required more than their one singular brain cell just kind of overloaded the RAM.
What kind of TV did your family like?
Oh, fuck me.
Do you think your mom was a fan of Jersey Shore?
No, I don't think so. I remember a lot of Law and Order being a thing when I was a kid. My grandmother and my mother really liked the CBS soap operas. So if I remember correctly, they did flip the channel a couple times, but I believe their go-to like playlist back in the day was The Bold and the Beautiful, Guiding Light, Days of Our Lives.
Oh man,
yeah.
That is like that's not like trash TV, but that's definitely like we're gonna show up and figure something out on set when you get here kind of TV. God, like fucking, I remember my mom never watched Days of Our Life with like any frequency, but I remember like how stunned I was when I found out it'd been going for like decades by the time she was watching it.
I mean, say what you will, but it's successful for a reason. I think it's kind of like the it's kind of like romance novels, you know what I mean, where people will just, they crave it for some reason and they don't really care who writes it.
Yeah.
So like as long as the material proliferates, it will have an audience. But they really did care about like the fucking characters. Like I remember them talking about like, oh, Victor is such an asshole, and you know, what's he gonna do this week, you know, stuff like that.
In a weird way, it seems like your family did love stories, just not high quality stories. Honestly,
they did. If I can say anything good about the people that raised me, my love of books came from my grandmother. Like, some of my earliest memories, sitting there with her, with me on one side and my sister on the other, as she read those little golden books to us and literally just like finger by finger taught us to pronounce the words.
Hey, we pulled one good memory out of there.
There's a handful. They're not the first things I think of, but they're a handful. What I do find very funny, though, is because I went down the path of loving books, and my sister Nikki went down the path of crazy, spiteful, and life-ruining, so I don't know what happened there. Clearly, I soaked up all the advantage of that aura.
Do I need to pick right options to make sure certain people join my crew or date me?
I believe there are certain right and wrong answers. I don't think this one matters. See that sound? That says you did a good, and I think that also adds to the reputation. I don't know if each one is a reputation upgrade, but when you
That
hear
was the least weird answer I could have given, so I went with that one. With this, so where the fuck are you from? Or that's a weird name. Vice knows much about women. Don't doubt Vice's game. He's got the fucking cut shoulder sleeves. He knows what he's doing. And the see-through eye patch. Aika wishes she had drip like Vice.
You know, now that you mentioned, he kind of is dressed like an idiot. Magic says, I kind of want to get into a soap opera just to know how they keep their stories going, because it's just pure people driven by emotion. That's kind of it. So if there's one thing, like, I've played very little of the Ultima games, but I've watched numerous like retrospectives on them. I think it's fascinating just what Lord British, what's his real name? Richard Garriott. I want to say Richard Garfield. I think it's fascinating what Richard Garriott managed to do just with so little resources in the beginning and just creating this thing that's still beloved, 40 years later. But anyway, one thing I've learned from Ultima is you can always continue a story. You just have to ask yourself, cause and effect, what happens next? What is the effect of the actions that just took place? And that's kind of how Ultima proliferated. So with soap operas, you can do the same thing, right? You just, what happens next? And you have this cast of characters, which everybody, everybody has their own motivations and their own desires, their own goals, and they tend to fail more often than not. It just makes itself. But yeah, it is people driven purely by emotion, and that's the thing. People understand emotion. And if you can get the characters at least halfway three-dimensional, people will relate to them, and that's the key. Daestra says, I had a love-hate-love relationship with books. Loved them when I was little, but the school systems forced books to read beat the love out of me. It wasn't until I hit a low point in my life I actually started to appreciate literature more. So I kind of regret to say this, but I had a very similar trajectory. I used to love books when I was a kid. And then as I grew up into the late teens, I guess I should say more early teens, I had a lot of trouble finding stories that would interest me. Now, obviously, I was not aware of the length and breadth of the literary world at that point, because there was some really cool shit happening in like the early 2000s that I'm reading now and loving and enjoying. I just didn't know it at the time. And it's not like my family didn't really have enough money to run to the Barnes & Noble or gas to go to the library at all times. So I was kind of just stuck with what I could find. And then, later, it was, I don't want to say more recently because that's not entirely true, but it was, I guess what you'd say later on in life that my love for literature really blossomed again. And I'm amazed by the fact that I can just hold these whole worlds in my hands and get to experience the lives of these fictional people that they don't exist, they've never existed, but if it's correctly written, they become real, and you care about these characters, and you care about what happens, and you celebrate their successes, you mourn their losses with them. I think it's fantastic. What do you think, Josh? You say something now. This is your stream.
Oh, I was letting you finish. No, I had the exact opposite experience. I think school only fostered my love of literature because I had really good teachers, and they always went out of their way to try to make sure that I was, in addition to reading whatever books I had to read, I was reading books that I enjoyed. And I think that's just the difference between having just quality educators and people that are kind of like either... Like, I don't want to blame teachers because, like, a lot of times, their classrooms are, like, severely over full of students. Like, there's way too many classrooms that have like 40 to 50 kids, and that's like nuts. Like, ideally it should be like 20 or even 15.
But, I mean, they don't even have that many fucking players to game masters in a fucking LARP.
Yeah.
40 to 50 is an egregious amount of people for any one person to juggle. let alone if you're trying to prepare them for future education.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teachers that are in a really forced to work within a really shitty education system. So I don't really put the blame on them, but I was fortunate to have like schools that had smaller classrooms that had good teachers that, like I said, fostered a love of literature rather than beating it out of me like a lot of you guys unfortunately had.
I can't blame school for falling out with books. I don't necessarily know why it happened. When I was, 10 and 11, I loved reading. I loved Goosebumps. Goosebumps was my jam, and of course Harry Potter back then. So yeah, I was reading constantly, and just when I became a teenager, I just couldn't find books that interest me, and maybe that's my own fault. But maybe I was definitely looking in the wrong places. I'll tell you that. But I don't know. It wasn't until later where I really started appreciating it again.
I'm like, how do we get home? Said southeast. Ooh, do I have a compass? Look at the white button. Run into monsters. Maracas. Your Honda Pirate Tile.
Also, you can use L and R to change your what's it called? Your height and depth. Altitude. There we go. In hindsight, I remember the exact point I hated reading. In elementary school, the English teacher you got was a roll of the dice. My roll got botched. Dude, I've had that English teacher too. I had one. I had this meathead coach in my sophomore year in high school who couldn't fucking pronounce most of the vocabulary words. I still remember the time, like, he fucking looks in the dictionary and goes, today's vocabulary word is sewage. Which was meant to be assuage.
No. That damn thing ran away.
Instead of the teacher that read Chronicles of Narnia, I got the old hag teacher that only read shit stories from textbooks.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Mazzy Charizard, I had a lot of a kid, Goosebumps, Animorphs. I loved Animorphs too. I read Animorphs when I couldn't get Goosebumps, though. If I had the choice, I'd take Goosebumps. And, later on in life, I became a morbid fuck, so what does that say? Teachers that taught against the canon, like deheroizing Holden Caulfield. Early 2000s physical space was a premium, so books took a hit. Video games / webcomics. I stopped watching film and TV, and then Chekhov happened.
Ooh, that did even less.
Oh yeah, I think he's super resistant to fire. Which, speaking of which, since Aika uses fire, her special moves are always red aligned.
Oh, okay.
9 times out of 10, that's not going to matter, but when it does matter, it matters.
When girls is learning spells left and right. Right afterwards.
So imagine how much worse it was on the Dreamcast version.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna have to heal soon.
Nah.
Oh, she has one magic back. The loopers just run.
I think they're worth like a butt ton of experience if you actually manage to kill one.
You just have to like get your speed really up.
Probably.
Let's take care of the little weenies first.
Still need to read Catcher in the Rye. I never read it. I think I missed the year of high school where that was mandatory.
He just squidding me.
How dare you?
I guess he can attack that one. She can attack that one.
Tactics, isn't it?
I am a tactical genius. You'll see this if I ever play like Fire Emblem and I die multiple times.
Don't we all? I saw that the original, well, the North American original Fire Emblem was recently added to the Game Boy Advance Switch Online. I was super happy to see that.
Now you can pay to have an emulator.
Eh,
So did you water just comes from like other little islands on the sky, doesn't it?
where do you think it comes from in real life, Josh?
I suppose you're not wrong.
I assume scientifically, you could probably make a case that like moisture gathers that high up. I don't know. I'm not a weather doctor.
You're but a humble man.
I just play one on TV.
I'll just let whoever attack whoever when they're gonna die really quickly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. It's early JRPG. The battles aren't that brain busting yet. I do remember some of them being absolute motherfuckers. Like the Coliseum in Valua. I think I remember handing me my ass a couple times, and the sewers underneath it too.
Pirate Isle. They're a trope in JRPGs, but I do love floating islands for some reason.
You know what? I think I do too, and I'm not sure why.
There's something just absolutely fantastic about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, because it's so different from the real world, it's just an impossibility that we could never get outside of that sort of fiction.
I saw the what was it, the black pirates are the ones that kill people,
Yeah.
or the black rogues, or what do they call them?
I want to say they're the Black Sail Buccaneers, but I can't. I feel like I'm transposing that from a different piece of media. It could just be Black Pirates.
So how often do people just fall over the edge of these islands?
Yeah, they're just called Black Pirates. You know, that's a good point that's never addressed. Like, there is a down there, but if you fall, you're not coming back up for multiple reasons.
Pirate Island isn't that big now that I'm looking at it.
That's why it's got a bottom, Josh. That's where the ships go. But yeah, you would have to completely ignore that a rock this big could support a population of anybody. A single family might be able to live here if you were a fucking hermit.
I like seeing those photos where it's like one house on like a tiny island in the middle of like a lake or something. And it's like, damn, I just really don't want anybody to come fucking talk to me.
I can't say I hate.
You just really don't want people trying to sell you solar panels anymore.
I can't say I hate the concept personally.
I've said it before, but one of these days I'm gonna put my Kickstarter up, and you guys are gonna help me fund my wizard tower in the middle of a forest on a mountain.
I mean, I'm down as long as we can install some sort of armaments on the on the crenellations.
Don't worry, I'll put some ballistas up top. Or my idea was if I had a stupid amount of money, I'd put a maze around my wizard tower, and then obviously somebody's gonna go, why don't we just climb over the walls? And that's because I'm gonna have the top of it electrocuted.
I'm not gonna lie, I have literally always wanted a hedge maze.
No, I want like an actual like stone maze with like I'll find some way to populate it with traps.
I feel like that's a good way to die in a fire. Like it's all Gucci until one of your fucking Christmas tree overloads and the firefighters have to fucking solve the labyrinth of the Minotaur to pull you out.
No, but could you imagine how much worse like something like Waco would have been if there was a labyrinth also involved?
I don't think the ATF would have got to him.
You're the deck swabber. Peter, maybe someday you'll be more than just the deck swabber.
You hold on to your dreams, Pete.
And what if he was just like, my dream is to swab decks?
Then
I'm already living my life, Vice.
I respect that, man. Daestra says, I don't think the ATF could have found their ways to the maze on the back of a Trix box.
Secrets? Oh, there's something right there. What do we got right there?
Oh, I think I know what that is. I think it's one of the things that Cupel eats, but you don't have the thing to get it yet. It remains to be seen if Cupel's going to annoy the fuck out of you.
Is he gonna be my fun little mascot that's forced upon me?
That's not far off.
My dad made me polish cannonballs. I don't know if there's any tactical use to that.
I guess maybe it reduces friction. Honestly, that does sound like just fucking busy work that you give your kid. I want to help with the guns, Dad. Here, kid. Take this rag.
Ben the lookout.
Yeah, this game is, shall we say, paced. So you're not going to see the ship-to-ship combat in this session, but I look forward to when you finally do, because it's another one thing that's super cool about this.
Does it function well?
I think so. It's a bit different than like the regular turn-based battles, to where it's more like timing based, and you get like certain quote-unquote initiative segments to assign each character an action. But I think it's cool. And then later on, rather than fight enemy airships, you're fighting giant monsters on the back of your fucking like tricked out super ship, and it's a fun time.
I see a chest, but can I get to it?
Chaz, have you ever DM'd a game with airships? Technically, yes, I have, because yeah, the group insisted on air. I think Josh specifically insisted on airships. I think that's the reason we didn't go with a natural fantasy style campaign, is because you wanted airships, which I have no issue with. I might have had airships in like a D&D game at one point or another, but Fabula Ultima definitely has them. But when and if I ever get a chance to play Fabula Ultima as a player character, I have significantly considered making an air pirate just because of this game. Either that or a Repentant Paladin, because once again, my other favorite JRPG is Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, the super dope thing about Fabula Ultima is that every one of the first character that you make, the way Josh put it, the first character you make is the world, so every player gets to contribute something. So no matter what, if you want to play a certain character concept, you can just put it into the world. And I love that so much.
That's why I spent one of my Fabula points to insist that, what was it, potions, mana potions, and health potions in our world are just monster energy cans. Because we went with a bit of lost technology in our game. And so I was like, yeah, that's the mana potions and health potions are ancient technology, but they're really just Monster Energy drink cans, like in what was it, Death Stranding?
Look, guys, Fabula Ultima is just so cool. I want to stream it so bad. It's probably going to be a little while until we're able to get around to that because I still have to get through the mage game. But oh my god, Fabula Ultima, so good, so good.
I'm going to Gen Con next week, so I'm hoping I can go buy a copy from. Is it Modifius as a distributor for it in the U.S.?
Check Modifius. I don't know if they're their U.S. distributor. I know Modifius has been distributing it in the U.K. But if anybody at Gen Con is going to have the book, it's probably going to be Modifius.
Okay.
I've been checking the website fairly religiously. I have not seen the U.S. Like you can get the PDF copy on DriveThru, and actually I think it's like dirt cheap right now, so it's an absolute fucking steal. But I've been checking the actual website fairly religiously to see if the American copy has come out yet, because they told me it would be out in like fucking April. And we're past April, so let's see what's up.
He's like, I'll fucking kill this girl, bro. I'm crazy. Safety first.
Oh, it was. Did you get an event ticket for the Ennies at Gen Con?
I did not.
I don't blame you. It's kind of boring, but Fabula Ultima is up for the Ennies this year.
She doesn't remember her past. She can't tell me. No, she just has a vow.
The core rulebook's finally available!
Oh, for Fabula?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's from Studio 2 Publishing. Oh, I'm fucking ordering this tomorrow. I was gonna pay $60 fucking for this thing to import it from the UK. That's how good the fucking game is. I was gonna pay double for the goddamn book. Yeah, this is from Studio 2 Publishing. So, I don't know, maybe... Well, let's see if Modifius has it too.
Well, of course, we're the good guy pirates. We're not gonna actually murder this teenage girl.
Thank you for not murdering me. I literally fell out of the sky. I have no idea where the fuck I am. Fina's homeworld, actually, when you get that far, was another thing that I loosely ripped off for Fabolt.
Yeah.
Again, loosely. But
Our favorite thing we came up with, though, was literally the world. It was a dumb idea, and I'm glad I was able to convince everybody to go with it.
I don't think it was a dumb idea at all. Like, honestly, that's another reason why I fell in love with Fabolt so much, is because everybody at the table had, like, a say on the world. I think the setting that we came up with was so much more evocative than, like, any fucking D&D setting I've ever played, ever. And I've played some weird shit.
Well, when you get 4 idiots to come together to come up with a fantasy world. Oh ho! That's how I get to the chest.
Look at
Pop's
you
still
finding
holding
shit.
out on me. For once, early on in the JRPG, snooping around has given me some sort of tangible benefit. Sometimes I just go around clicking everything, and it turns out the developers didn't put anything in that early. Ah, just money. That's cool.
I just stole Dad's fucking hidden rainy day stash.
It was better to steal your dad's money than to find his hidden porn stash. Which is an experience Zoomers are never just gonna have. I think we were the last generation of people who our first exposure to pornography was somebody's dad's or somebody's older brother's secret porn stash.
I mean, I found Kyle's dad's porn stash one time.
Oh, was it any good?
No. It was on his computer, and he did
No.
the fucking... I don't know how to describe... He did that thing where you just name the folder A.
Classic.
So I don't even remember. I was using his computer for something because he had a bunch of like actual records, like fucking like birth certificates and stuff, scanned in. I think I was doing taxes, but he had a bunch of like actual records scanned to his computer, and I was looking for like the scan of like my W-2 that year, and he just had a folder called A that I ended up accidentally click on, and it's just it was just like just regular pictures of naked women, like not anything. I want to use the term interesting. I don't think that's properly evocative. It was just like naked chicks, like the internet. There you go. Yeah, you're doing it, pal.
Yeah, you can just type in boobies and boobies come up.
Basically. Looks like Modifius does have it. So check Modifius, check Studio 2. Studio 2 Publishing usually sets up next to Onyx Path. They are a separate company, though, so not always, but when I went to Gen
Yeah,
Con...
would you mind just like sending me a link to the name of the studio, that way I don't forget? In Discord, if you can?
Well, there's one studio and there's Studio 2. Yeah, I'll send you both links.
Because they released the program already, so I have a copy of the map. So it shouldn't be hard to find out where Studio 2 is if they have a specific booth, or see if they partnered up with somebody else. Have you ever actually slept in I've never slept in long term in a hammock, but I didn't find it particularly comfortable when I did when we were camping.
I don't think I ever slept in a hammock. I haven't had a hammock since I was a little kid, but when I did used to lay in it, I thought it was comfortable as shit. How my age-addled body would react to it now, nobody knows. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm sending the Modifius link first, just for shits and or gigs.
Ooh, this seems to be the shop. Hey, pirates gotta have fruit. You don't want to get fucking scurvy. I'm playing an RPG, but the weapons merchant is not a Rhodian.
Josh, I've been meaning to ask, did you ever have an interest in Star Wars Galaxies? The old MMO that got shut down.
Oh no, I hadn't even heard of it. I'd only ever heard of the Knights of the Old Republic one.
Star Wars Galaxies was the first one. There was a lot of like cool shit. It was like a sandbox MMO, and you could like get spaceships and fly to different planets and stuff. And it got taken down like years and years ago. Well, there are a number of like fan servers that are like keeping it alive. And I recently started playing on one called I think it's called the Star Wars Galaxies Restoration Project. You might consider checking it out at some point. I think you'd dig it. And I actually do play a Rhodian, so... Yeah.
Oh. I was mostly thinking of Knights of the Old Republic 2, where there's two Rhodian merchants that you can sell your stuff to pretty early on.
I mean, you've physically seen how far I've gotten in KOTOR, so I'm sorry to disappoint you, Senpai. Alright, and there's the Studio 2 link. Yeah, Studio 2 is the one that usually handles, like, Onyx Paths. Like, when they have overflow of the special edition books from, like, Kickstarters and stuff, they give them to Studio 2. And Studio 2 just sells it for them.
Actually, let me sell my old weapons.
Cutlass and boomerang. Yeah, they are.
Depending on what the other lady has, I will buy the armor.
The other lady, Fina?
Yeah. Oh no, there's another merchant in this room.
Oh.
The item merchant. Some of the tougher air pirates refuse to use them to save themselves.
You know what? That absolutely seems like a kind of machismo thing that would happen in fantasy worlds.
I would
Potions
rather
are for
die.
pussies.
I'll take 2 of these. Ooh. Never have too much. I'll actually take more of these. Do I still have enough to buy some robes? Riveting gameplay, I know right now.
They tuned into a JRPG stream. They know what they're here for. So I've recently had this this epiphany about like streaming as a whole, right? And it happened ironically because of you, because we were talking about that one time you like streamed smoking ribs and talking or drinking beer. I think the gameplay, right? The gameplay just brings people into the door, but once they're there, they stay and they continue and they watch. And I believe our people in chat right now will vouch for us. They stay because they actually enjoy the people that are streaming, and it's because interacting with those people is interesting to them. The game kind of becomes secondary after that. That's my theory, at least.
So what you're saying is I should just be smoking ribs right now. No.
I genuinely believe that if you were smoking ribs right now, nobody would complain.
Interesting. No. I smoked chicken last weekend. I don't think I'll have a chance to smoke anything this weekend because I'm going to be getting the house ready for leaving on our trip. But my one complaint was I felt the skin came out rubbery, and I think it's because I didn't turn the heat high enough towards the end.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I actually found myself craving some of that chicken earlier today.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I was like, God damn, that chicken with the white sauce. Like, I just had a weird fucking... weird craving for like a good, 10 or 15 minutes, but... Amaya and I ended up getting Don Carbone for dinner, so that kind of scratched the itch. But it was not as good, Josh.
Oh, I appreciate it. Everybody here in El Paso loves Don Carbone. I think it's just okay. I'm like, I can grill chicken at home.
Well, I mean, not everybody's a fucking meat wizard like you are.
No, I know, but like Don Carbone style chicken, I mean, it's this marinated chicken grilled over, what, mesquite wood?
I don't know how they do it. I really like the red sauce, though. Have you ever had Pollo Feliz?
I have not.
Pollo Feliz is a chain like straight up from Juarez, if memory serves. They're pretty good too. I'd say I like them and Don pretty evenly. For those of you who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, they're basically like regional versions of El Pollo Loco. Like,
I'd say it's different in that Don Carbone specifically is like their whole thing is like northern Mexican style grilled chicken.
I mean, I haven't eaten Pollo Loco in a number of years. I'm just...
Oh, I don't know about Pollo Loco. I haven't been to Pollo Loco in a while.
Yeah, same.
I actually think I have gone, but I think I was probably like 13 when I did.
That's just the closest comparison I can make for
Yeah, no, I get
people
it.
who don't know what the fuck weird-ass Southwest Texas / Mexico chains we're talking about.
It's like, I could don't leave me alone with a woman I barely know. I'm gonna be awkward. I'm a teenage boy. I'm a teenage boy. If you leave me alone with a pretty girl, I'm gonna start lifting weights and being like, oh, hey, I didn't see you there. 1001, 1002.
That literally happened to me once in high school.
Oh, like you did that, or you saw somebody performing the action?
No, I took weights and conditioning in high school, right? And like I didn't give a fuck. Or I was clearly not the athletic type. I'm still not. So I would basically just sit there with a 5-pound weight in my hand and sit in the corner with the other dorks and talk about fucking like Pokemon or whatever. So we got to like the year end, like the basic fucking test, quote unquote, for weights and conditioning, right? And it was like to bench press. Like, I think like I want to say it was like around 200. In my mind, the number 280 sticks in, but that seems kind of heavy for like a 15-year-old. So I don't know if it was 280. But let's
15, you can probably pull that off with like a semester's worth of training.
280 is the number that sticks in my head. So I did. I ended up. I had to. The thing of it was you could either do 8 or do 10, right? And I'm sitting there with the Pokemon dorks. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking half-ass it. I don't care. And I shit you not, the chick I had a crush on all year walked into the gym at that point, and at the time I'm sitting down on the bench. I'm like, fuck, I have to. God damn, all of my fucking machismo welled up in me, and I was like, I had to do it. And so I think I went to 15 or something. I get back to the dorks and they're like, yeah, you didn't half-ass. I was like, I know. We will never speak of this. But all my masculine insecurity came up to the fore at that one point.
You're like, whoa, did you see that? I didn't have to go that hard, but I totally did.
No, I didn't talk to her. What am I, some kind of Chad? I just let her marvel at my athletic experience from afar.
280 is pretty heavy, though. It might have just been 200. Because what is that? The bar is 45 pounds. What is it? 245 pounds? 90, 180. I mean, if they put 245s on each end, which would be a pretty good amount for just a high schooler. That'd be 90, 180, 215? If they put 2 plates on each side?
I genuinely do not remember. I know we had a choice of 2 styles of weight, or 2 weight variations. I think maybe it was 190 and 220, something like that. I did go for the heavier one way before the chick walked into the gym because I have a little bit of self-respect.
Yeah, I was severely overestimating how much 300 pounds was, because 2 plates is pretty good. 2 45-pound plates, which is typically how people like to measure it when they reference a plate in weights, at least in imperial units.
Yeah, like I said, 280 is just... What's up?
I said, that's a fun ladder to climb.
Oh, yeah. Not quite as bad as the fucking Metal Gear Solid ladder, but it's up there.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about. It's I didn't know this was going to be my day-to-day, climbing this ladder. We all call it Pirate Isle. Because fuck the government.
Okay, so we know what the underground looks like. Where the fuck is that well fed from? I guess if you just dig a big enough hole and wait for it to rain.
You have to live as a swashbuckler.
That's actually a direct reference to the title system.
Unlike real pirates, everybody here seems to have a family.
Once again, you're the good guys. You fight for truth and friendship and Sacred crystals for everybody.
Truth and friendship in the American way.
Just, stealing from people. Which I guess technically is American capitalism, you don't know.
Yeah, well, Americans steal from their poor, okay?
That's not entirely true. We also steal from other nations' poor.
I will say, in particularly shitty days, it does help to think of having a good home to go to.
True that.
I think I've told you this, Chaz, but I'm very fascinated with the kind of food that appears in fantasy.
Yeah, you've mentioned that.
I wanna. So far, all I've gotten is the loqua berries or something like that.
Well, there's your oranges and limes to fight off the scurvy.
Yeah. Please do not step on the garden. Vegetables are an important source of nutrient for sailors. Everyone takes great care to make sure and grow them properly.
Good eye. I was wondering if you'd catch the gate.
Does anything happen if I step on them?
I don't know if you can. I think they might be like hitboxed.
I guess nothing happens. It's easy to get scurvy, so we pickled turnips. That's a very Japanese way of preventing scurvy. Oh, we're not eating oranges or lemons like Caribbean pirates. We're pickling turnips to make daikon.
I never noticed that. I guess that is true.
Thanks to the moons. Okay, we're a moon-worshipping people. Fuck that sun-worshipping BS. Ooh, salted fish. Okay, more food stuff. Oh, I regret looking in here. Yeah, I mean, preserved fish isn't my go-to when I think of stuff I want to eat.
I think, well, number one, in a fantasy world, you definitely have less options. But number two,
Yeah.
like, when you're on a fucking boat in a fantasy world, I think you take what you can get.
Yeah. Lindsay. I only play games if you let me, if it's a quest and I get something at the end of it. So there is a quest here.
You got to get the bomber's notebook somewhere. I genuinely
You
don't.
fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Jimmy? You jackass, Jimmy.
You were no match for my adult, fully developed brain, small child. I
feel like Jimmy, you absolute idiot.
I don't remember where these little shits are, so I can't offer any help.
Are they all outside, or do I have to actually like look inside buildings too?
I want to say they're all outside.
Okay.
If memory serves.
He did say somebody fell down the well once. Did one of them? Oh, there's the dog. Can I not interact with the dog? Or how do I... Oh, there we go.
Pow pow, also a weird Japanese onomatopoeia.
Second and third child. Up there's the little girl.
Oh, you kids suck at hiding.
Let it be known that I absolutely fucking dominated these kids. Give me your secret, child.
I remember one time, I think we were still in high school, and for some reason, us high
I already
school...
knew the secret, Jimmy! I already stole my dad's stash. I'm sorry, go ahead, Chaz.
No, for some reason, us, like, almost grown adults ended up playing hide and seek, and nobody could fucking find Kyle.
No.
That motherfucker was up in a tree. Not sitting, he was holding his weight up between two branches with his legs for like a good fucking hour. Of all the things that Kyle's done that have legitimately impressed me, he deserves more credit for that shit. Because he was fucking invisible.
You should have known better than to play hide and seek with the boys, with the former Eagle Scout.
I mean, I guess you're not wrong.
I was about to just call him an ordinary Boy Scout, but he was an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, I was part of his Eagle project. We built sunshades for that that park at the end of Trans Mountain while Kyle and his girlfriend sat around underneath the sunshades.
Okay, Chaz already told me this part.
I'm sorry. I'm sequence breaking the game for you.
I think you told me about the weapons too already. Yep. Look at basic elemental damages.
Well, I think the colors are actually fire, poison, lightning, ice, air or water, and life. Like I said, it's not a rock paper scissors thing. It's a fucking Excel spreadsheet thing.
Yeah. Something underneath the hanky. Oh boy.
I never found this.
This is not the first time a JRPG's done this to me.
Wait, why would you put the handkerchief covering your bedroom on the outside of your house?
He just hasn't had time to fix this hole.
Yeah, but you put it on the inside and you like fucking nail it down.
What's that gonna do? Was my fucking eye sticking through the hole? I think it's in Star Ocean The Last Hope. There's a possibility that you get like a... I don't know if it's a random event, or if it occurs if you go to a specific room at a specific time in the story. But you end up walking into one of the characters taking a shower, and it's like the fan service moment. What happens if you look at it a second time? It's her fault for putting a brightly colored handkerchief.
I still think it's weird that it's outside.
Yeah. It'd be like, Aiko, there's like 12 people on this island. Who else am I going to hang out with? Oh, this is where I came from. Or is it?
I think that does lead down into Pirate Docks.
Oh, shit.
Well, I wasn't wrong, but I forgot about that. Also, you might be able to Moonberry Vice his next special. Once again, I don't remember it being particularly useful, but you're welcome to give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it better than I did.
I mean, you know I have to fill out everything on every character sheet.
I mean, I do have to admit my tactics weren't exactly inspired as a small... Oh, I guess I wasn't a small child, I was a teenager.
This game came out in 2003, you were still, what?
13.
13, yeah. Barely getting your first wispy mustache.
I will have you know, my genetics, I had a full fucking beard by the time I was 13. I mean, I shaved it, but I could have.
No, I was the same way.
I think you have to go to special move if you want to use the moonberries.
It didn't let me just straight up use the moonberry, because, like, if I go down to it, I can't select it.
Yeah, but try going to super move.
Okay.
Yeah, you're eligible for the next one.
Countering all enemy physical attacks for a full turn. Ooh, and I can learn hers next. Anti-magic shell.
I knew
Blocks
hers...
ally magic too.
I genuinely could not tell you what their third and fourth one is.
You know me, I always gotta save for posterity's sake.
Oh no, I fucking do it too. Like, the last thing you want to do is get, like, fucking randomly ganked.
I think this was this the main way back? No, I know I have my reference of space. Nope, no it wasn't. Mama? But now, who's more of a fox? Vice's mother or Mrs. Hawkins in Treasure Planet?
I genuinely do not remember what Mrs. Hawkins looks like.
There's two kind of boys in this world that grew up to be two different kinds of men. The people who liked Mrs. Hawkins, and the people who liked the cat alien lady from Treasure Planet.
That sounds reasonable enough that I won't argue with it. Although I think Lola is more responsible for furries than the Treasure Planet lady.
No.
Also, Maid Marian from Robin Hood, apparently.
Oh.
I don't know if I see it personally, but a lot of furries assure me that Robin Hood is a formative movie in that regard. So I'll take their word for it.
They're like, Maid Marian just did something for me.
Growing up is weird, isn't it? Like, you think about the fact that we're supposed to be a bunch of monkeys trawling in the forest, and then by the time we hit puberty, we have all these weird cartoons giving us, like, female images. Our brains are, like, evolutionarily whacked out.
We weren't meant to have all this. Now, would a caveman be utterly repulsed at the idea of video games, or would they immediately become addicted?
I think they'd be terrified.
They're like, wait, I can just live vicariously through the stories and have pizza delivered?
I mean, if they were developed enough to understand that concept,
Yeah.
I think
If
it'd be
you could
pretty cool.
explain the delivery part first. I thought this was the area I was supposed to go to? Or am I supposed to go to that fucking obnoxiously high island?
You might have to go to Obnoxious Island. I also thought it was the outcropping that you were supposed to go to. So, the caveman video game questions depends on the age. Yeah, that's what I mean. Depends on like how developed they are. Like a Neanderthal is gonna fucking throw the thing across the room and try to break it. But it reminds me of a meme that I saw one time. It's I brought back a medieval peasant from the year 1300. Be right back. I'm going to show him TikTok and give him a Sprite.
Oh, there's another one of those glowing things. You said I need some little companion at some point to pick them up?
When you
That
meet
thing right there?
when you meet Cupel, you get the fucking grappling hook thing to get those. And then those things
Oh, okay.
upgrade Cupel.
I mean, that high up in the sky? It's gotta be fucking windy all the time.
Also, like, how easily can they possibly breathe? Because they're already on a fucking sky island.
And we're fucking... They have to be yelling at each other all the time. You see, that's our fantasy writer's brain working, Chaz. We're like, well, if you're that high up, it's gonna be windy.
It's just the
They're like,
verisimilitude working in the background.
We're like, certainly instead of using verbal language, they'd come up with probably some form of sign language to communicate with each other. That way they wouldn't have to yell at each other all the time.
What thing from now would you show to your 13 and 18-year-old self to make them really confused?
My 13-year-old self? What's the most confusing bit of technology I have right now?
I'm gonna tell you that like my like 7 and 8-year-old self would have loved the hell out of Discord, because I was fascinated with the idea of like video messaging back when it was like Star Trek technology. Like that's the
Honestly,
first
like a VR headset, because that was like very much still the realm of sci-fi at that point.
I saw a VR headset back in the 90s. Like they weren't super what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't super realistic, but like you could still like play games in first person. They were just extraordinarily polygonal.
I'm not talking about the Nintendo one that was all red and gave you a headache, though.
No, neither am I. Like I saw it at a fucking arcade one time. There was like I saw this chick. She was like standing in one of those like VR platform things, and she had the headset on, and she had like this gun-shaped controller, and it was like a first-person shooter game. I wanted to play it super bad, but I was like 5 years old at the time. I want to say it was at like Knott's Berry Landing in. It was somewhere close to Vegas. It wasn't exactly in Vegas, but this was like 1995, 96 that I saw it. Like they existed, they just weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't as good as they are now.
But like a modern VR headset to like my 13-year-old self running like Skyrim at the time,
Oh,
running
yeah.
Skyrim from now even like compared to like the graphics of like Oblivion
Dude,
would have been pretty mind blowing.
Skyrim itself, just regular ass Skyrim. I remember when I got my first issue of GamePro back in 2002, and it was the first time I got to see like PlayStation 2 and Xbox graphics, and I remember looking at it going, whoa, how much better could graphics possibly get? And now I look at it now and it looks like shit. Dude, smartphones would be pretty fucking dope. I think social media would... Well, no, social media existed when I was about that age. But
Well, I mean, when I was 13, MySpace was huge at the time.
yeah, I had a MySpace when I was about that young.
What was your song though, Chaz?
I know that specifically because it was the same song for like years. It was Blind Guardian's Mirror Mirror.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, true hope lies beyond the coast.
That's the one. You're a damned kind, can't you see?
Can't you see
That the winds will change. Yeah, I used to be the kind of person that updated my MySpace song like fairly religiously, and then I just left it as that for like 2 years. Like I just stopped one day.
If it's gonna be any song, it might as well be "Mirror, Mirror" by Blind Guardian.
Well, I think because
Another good option would have been Valhalla.
I couldn't find Valhalla. I think Valhalla was my favorite Blind Guardian at the song at the time. The one I really wanted was Imaginations from the Other Side. And I don't think that was an option, so I went with Mirror Mirror, which was like my third choice. Because I was a super fucking like writing auteur super up my own ass back in the day, so Imaginations from the Other Side were like is cringy amounts of on the nose, I guess. But now, to this day, when I hear the song Mirror Mirror, it still makes me think of that time in high school.
Hell, I guess her mom made healing crystals in the fucking oven.
So that's a Sacris crystal. That's even better than a Sacri. They do the Final Fantasy thing where it's like Fire Fiora Firaga.
Oh, we're not taking Fina with us?
You're not yet.
I was like, I'm assuming she was not my next party member.
She is, just not yet.
Ooh, cool. Another moonstone.
They give you purple? Yeah.
Yes. Does Vice learn spells as well, or just some of the other party members?
No, Vice learns spells. He already learned Pyre just by leveling up.
Ah, okay.
It just depends on what color you have him hit things with. You were using red a lot, so he got red experience.
That's so awkward. Have you ever had to stay at a friend's home when your friend's not there? Like when you were a child? And it's like, what do I do?
When I was a child, no, I was never allowed over my friend's house because literally everybody on Earth was a pedophile, according to my grandmother. But it's happened to me several times in high school.
That's what Fina's going through right now. She's having that awkward high schooler moment of staying over at your friend's house when your friend's not there.
Literally, what I did was just use the internet, because that was about the only time I'd be able to get on the internet or have access to a computer. Like, again, everybody was a pedophile. My grandmother was terrified of the goddamn internet. I don't think she knew how it worked, right? So I knew as a child that like these people aren't gonna get me unless I agree to meet them. But I think she literally thought they could come through the fucking screen like Samara style and snatch me away. So I never had access. Like, consecutive access to a computer till I was like 17. I had one for like 6 months when I was 12, and that went out the fucking window real fast.
I don't think I missed anything. Might as well get the hell out of here. Yep, this is my home. That way was the secret way back down. That's the well.
I think you do have to go up to the outcropping for this one, if memory serves. Because they don't give Vice a whole ass ship, they give him like a fucking rowboat. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I was trying to get back down. I did love that moment when the internet blew up with the whole thing about Swedish people not feeding their guests as a cultural thing. Where people are like, I stayed over at my Swedish friend's house, and they all had dinner without me and just told me to wait in their room.
I did not know that was a thing.
And to multiple different cultures, that's such a baffling thing.
Oh, like, yeah, absolutely.
In Hispanic culture, that is nearly inconceivable to do such a thing.
I think it's to the left.
Is that another ship?
That is another ship, yes.
Are they bad guys or are they good guys?
I think they're just like merchant vessels. Okay, fuck, now I'm turned around. Hit Y. Huh, they didn't mark it on your map. You're fucked.
I'm gonna have to explore like an old-fashioned pirate, Chaz.
I want to say it's due north.
Oh, it's that thing that's just gonna run away real quick.
Good fight.
That was easy.
I guess so, Vice.
Hey, still got experience. I'll take it.
One free magic. So right now you're kind of boxed in. As you get upgrades to your ship, it lets you go to more and more places. That's Shrine Isle. That right there.
Yeah. What's this vortex down there?
Have you ever played Skyward Sword?
Yes.
There you go.
It leads to the below. Okay, I've been using red a lot. Let's try purple.
Alright, let's summon the fucking spreadsheet here. So once again, assuming I'm interpreting this properly, purple is absolutely devastating against red, and it's pretty good against blue.
Okay, well these guys are all red.
You don't want to hit green or purple with it. Yeah, versus red, it's 140% damage.
Nice. That must be why I annihilated those guys. I was gonna say, I'm assuming, can I even go down?
Not yet. Right now, because you have a fucking dinghy, everything's gonna block you.
Okay.
Eventually, you get upgrades to your engine, so you go further up, further down. When you get the harpoon cannon, you can break through those rock walls. I forget exactly what upgrade lets you go through those like vortex walls, but you can get through those too.
That's a big old hole.
Big ol' hole.
Astute observation, Ica. When I was reading about this game, though, I did read that the dungeons in this game are pretty good and very naturally involved into the world.
I remember enjoying them a lot. but I also don't remember having too discerning of taste back then.
You were like, anime video game, hell yeah.
That's basically what it was. I originally rented this game from Blockbuster because I liked the way it looked, and I'm super glad. Oh, I also read about it in Nintendo Power, so I knew it was pretty good to begin with. Do not
Yeah, so you were
regret.
like, Nintendo Power would never lie to me.
Nintendo Power certainly would not be a thinly veiled advertisement. It's certainly not a corporate marketing tactic.
Yeah, the idea is inconceivable.
Although I have gone on record of saying that it kind of worries me a little bit how much I just love their disposable marketing tat.
Oh boy. A flooded ruin level. This soon?
It's not that bad.
Okay.
You're not fucking with water levels. You just have to find a way to drain it.
I'm not fucking stupid, Ike. I'm not gonna swim down.
Swim down and get the rock. What's the worst that could happen?
Ika, you can't swim when we use boats or everything? In the air? I mean, living on Sky Islands does seem like swimming would be a pretty useless skill for the most part.
I don't know. If you fall down the well, seems like you'll need it real fast. .hack/IMOQ were your favorite dungeons. I didn't have access to many games. I think I got Infection because I liked .hack on Adult Swim. I also enjoyed .hack on Adult Swim. I never saw it much. But now I cannot look at any other isekai without immediately comparing it to .hack. It is a cancer in my brain, and I'm aware.
From what I remember, I think it's because like .hack was good.
Your message.
I won't go on my Reki Kawahara rant right now, or else I won't be able to play at the same time.
Well, see, now I'm tempted to hear the Reki Karahawa rant.
It's the guy that made Sword Art Online. My rant boils down to stop giving him money.
Oh, you don't like the Black Swordsman?
That's not my Black Swordsman.
The singular anime Black Swordsman that exists in anime?
I'm just saying he's not my Black Swordsman.
Oh no,
Oh hey, you didn't run.
Oh no, I fully agree. As a Berserk fan, I cannot acknowledge another.
It's just I don't know how you could write that many books and not become a good writer.
Are you talking about the manga specifically, or like light novels?
The light novels.
I'm not sure I've ever read a light novel.
I've read quite a few, but I stopped just because it's a lot like manga. You know, it's too much repetitiveness, and I know there's good series, but I don't have like a strong enough desire to go look for them.
Speaking of Berserk, I hear the Grunbeld light novel is absolute just horrific trash. Once again, I've never read it.
I can't remember which JRPG it was, but I have played one though where it was like every couple of steps it just smacked you with the fucking random battle.
That sounds familiar. I know that Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Advance had like super overtuned random battles. But unless that's what you're referring to, I genuinely don't know. But I remember you talking about that before.
There's just some that do it, especially a lot of older ones on like the 80s systems.
I mean, it makes sense. They had to fucking pad the game somehow.
This purple moonstone is just kicking ass.
Oh yeah, because everything's red in here.
Yeah.
Shin Megami Tensei and Persona had atrocious encounter rates. Did you ever play that patched version of SMT2, Josh?
I have a totally legitimate translated copy of the first Shin Megami Tensei. I think back when it was just Megami Tensei. For the original one for the NES. And I will say I am not the sort of person to play a game that doesn't have auto mapping. Unless I'm gonna like take a severe amount of time with it.
You know, honestly, I am. So I don't know if I told you this or not. I purchased the fucking D&D Gold Box games recently
Yeah.
because they were super cheap. So I got Eye of the Beholder, and the Eye of the Beholder like remake thing setup. I'm not really sure what to call it, but it's not like a one for one copy. Uh, it has an auto map in it, but it's like an external thing, and I turned it off, and I just full screen the regular game, and I sat there with graph paper, and I mapped out the first level of the dungeon. I was so happy. It brought me a ridiculous amount of joy. And so I bought the third game in the series, which is Dungeon Hack. Hey, Ian, how's it going, buddy? Uh, hang on, I'll get you 1 second. Anyway, I bought Dungeon Hack because Dungeon Hack is effectively that system, but like infinitely generated random dungeons. And I thought that sounds so cool. I bought it specifically so I could just make my own maps forever. And it turns out Dungeon Hack has an auto map baked into the fucking game that you cannot turn off, and I was sad. But Dungeon Hack is still fun as shit, so I didn't regret the purchase. Ian says Final Fantasy had a singular hallway that had encounters every 1 or 2 steps with monsters you were not meant to fight by the time you found that hallway. That sounds fairly miserable. Ian says, I'm good. I've been here the whole time just lurking. Ah, man, say hi, buddy. We appreciate having you around.
Give me your secrets, magic crystal. Oh, cool, I just lowered everything. Now more stuff is flooded. Genius plan, Vice.
There's a method to his madness, I'm sure.
I'm just a pirate man doing pirate things.
Pirately.
Going a pirateering. Don't want to miss out on my chest.
Big shiny one, too.
Dos sacri cristals.
You got a fuck ton of healing potions, which you will never use. Yeah, I absolutely did the JRPG thing with this game and just had like stacks and stacks of fucking Sakura crystals at the end of by the time I finished it.
We all know in a JRPG, any kind of healing item is really just there for aesthetic purposes within your inventory.
Oh, that's interesting. I never noticed, but your spirit bar got bigger. You're now starting with 3 out of 10.
I like the monster design so far. It's very sci-fi-esque.
Oh yeah, I think it's so cool. Later on, it does use more recolors, but there's a pretty varied bestiary, I'd say. She can I don't know. That's a tricky one.
I'll try it.
I think you can clip the Seeker. I think what that was called, right?
Nope,
Hey,
yeah,
you
I
got
got
it.
him. I gotta get rid of those fucking snakes right away. They keep putting me to sleep.
Yeah, sleep can be bad in this game because you'll just snooze until something whacks you.
Well, I don't want to wait for someone to come out and whack me off.
Yeah, that's really something you prefer to be proactive about, I think.
What snakes? You son of a bitch.
Guys, we found the sleep clinic.
No memes. God damn it.
Good news is they're lined up pretty well. Oh, there you go. He's awake. If you... Oh, god damn it! Son of a bitch, you got fucked. Well, you can definitely alpha storm both of them in that.
That was the plan.
I don't think there's friendly fire in this, so I don't think you have to worry about Vice.
I don't think so. I would have hit him in the last turn because he was in range.
That wasn't so bad.
Because you were fucking asleep for half of it.
Yeah, you just had a brisk nap. Fuck you.
And he leveled up first.
Hey man, sometimes you just need to get a good sleep in, and you feel like a new man afterwards.
What must that feel like?
I don't know.
To be well rested.
I don't know, man. I'm a working millennial.
Well, that's where the hole was. More fucking snakes! No memes for me.
I have no bedtime.
Ooh, I need a heal.
Ooh! Oh, she cut it fucking close.
Let's just... Oh, don't have it yet.
And the good news is the base healing spell heals for holy fuck tons.
Oh yeah, I guess straight up just 500. He did. And he did.
You're getting pretty good RNG on the counterattacks. I don't remember Vice attacking or counterattacking so much.
It's the power of peeping, Chaz.
Of peeping?
Yeah, it was because I found that secret peeping cutscene, I think.
Oh. Yeah, that'll do it.
It caused my counter rate to go up. I'm just gonna heal real quick. Oh, I forgot I had my map turned off. Gonna quick item heal. Since I already have 13 of them.
I don't know, man. You never know when you're going to need them.
Here's the thing. At the beginning of a JRPG, you use them too much, but at the end, you never use them at all.
That's true. Daestra says, like the Baki sex buff.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, if you're ever stuck in your physical training, man, you just have to have that sex buff. I feel like I should get rid of him first.
So that Grouter is purple. I think it's like 70% damage if you hit him with the purple stone. At least I believe that's purple. It looks purple to me.
Oh, it's the border around him, right?
Yeah, the border around their portrait, you see? You see where their name is, the picture next to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I played the entire fucking game not knowing that.
You're like, what's the point of these stupid fucking crystals?
No, I changed the... I knew I could change the moonstones. I knew what they did, but I did it by trial and error. So I would just whack shit with different fucking colors until I found one that did big numbers.
So if he's what was he, purple?
Yes.
Does that mean green?
Let's see. If you use green against...
Say?
Spreadsheet says 90% damage. Green... No, he's purple, right?
Yeah.
110% damage.
With green?
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. I didn't feel like 110% damage.
Wevley?
AoE ice attack. I thought it was an AoE ice attack. I guess not.
Well, let's see how this one... Well, might as well use a special move. Just bop him on the head.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Josh. I'm straight up wrong. Red versus purple is 140% damage.
Well, he's dead anyway.
I told you, man. Fucking Vice's special moves fuck.
He's the MC?
Like, most of his stuff is single target, but holy shit, that single target won't be there when you're done.
Hey, he's here to do the big damage.
Yeah, when you finally get Pirate's Wrath, you can just elect to shit on things.
Back to purple. I guess the little looper guy's silver. Is silver also weak to purple?
Let's find out. If your attacker is purple and your defender is silver, it's just straight 100%.
Oh, okay. What's purple? I mean, what's the silver weak against then? Son of a bitch!
Once again, predicated on me reading this properly, because, like, I'll show you the thing, but it's, like, weird, like, shades of the colors. So, predicated on me reading this properly, yellow is actually 110% against silver. And it looks like silver versus silver is 90. Everything else is straight 100.
Let's kill the snake first. Gotta kill all these fucked up Omanites now.
Yeah, that's like Junji Ito redesigning Ammonite. You're not wrong.
Our surprisingly well-adjusted boy Junji Ito. Man just loves writing fucked up story and playing with his cats.
Honestly, I think... did you ever see that meme where it's like the creator, the creation? And like
Yeah.
one is always like super wholesome and the other is like weird and fucked up? To me, honestly, that seems kind of obvious that people who would have that kind of outlet for darker like emotions and topics and subject matter, like, they just wouldn't have to deal with it in their normal lives.
Oh, I think he got hit in the rebound. Oh, there we go. Panika. Lightning damage.
No, actually, I think Panica is a debuff of some kind. Confusion.
Yep. Gave me the swirly poop thingy.
I believe that means he has a chance to attack Aika. I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, you probably want to hit him with fire, which hers are always red aligned regardless because she's what she do.
So was it red that the most damage to purple?
Red should be 140%, yes.
Okay. Now, oh, never mind. Ike is not confused.
Yep.
But Vice is.
You're lucky that she didn't fucking counterattack, because I've seen that happen.
No, what I saw recently was a meme where it was just pointing out that you know how the joke is that comedians are fucked up people in real life, and that's where their sense of comedy comes from.
I mean, I haven't heard that before, but it stands to reason.
Then the joke is that like it's the opposite for people that make horror media, where it's like it was an interview with David Cronenberg, and the interviewer seemed to be getting upset at how like normal he was, and that he didn't have like a weird childhood or like any like weird fetishes and stuff like that. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like my parents loved me. They were very supportive. He's like, I'm not faking anything about myself.
Yeah, I kind of feel like a stereotype bucking that trend. But, like, I mean, you've seen how I talk to my fucking dog. But at the same time, if you read Litany, there's a lot of fucked up shit in Litany. I'm kind of a morbid fuck creatively. Well, they've seen my my World of Darkness videos. They know.
There you go, Aika. Vice is just fucking napping through half these battles.
Hey man, he's a tired boy, alright? He had to fly the ship all the way home.
Gonna have to use another one of those,
One of your infinite supply of Sakri crystals?
Mm-hmm. Oh, use 2 of them.
But now you only have a double-digit number of them.
I know it hurts. You have to figure out how to get to that. I was gonna say they're just gonna knock me over the edge.
You gotta run like hell when you hit that button, man.
I'm surprised he had enough time to run with the amount of pressure there was.
That's what we call GM Fiat.
I get to that chest over there.
That other chest should be through that door behind you. I'm assuming you already figured that out.
Yeah, I'm just assuming I also have to turn these little light things on.
No, they just react
Oh, they
when
just
you walk by.
Okay. I thought it was part of some kind of dungeon puzzle or something.
No, if anything, it's like foreshadowing for the technology level of the old world.
Back in the old country. Oh, I forgot to change my fucking weapons.
Doesn't look like it mattered. I mean, they're actually. I think purple might be pretty good against blue. Let me check. 110. Yeah, purple or green is your best bet against blue.
What was green? Purple is 110%, right?
Yeah, it's also 110%.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I honestly would have laughed pretty hard. It was just more Sakri crystals.
Yeah, I won't say no to a free health potion or a monster energy drink. There's no choice but to go up. Yeah.
Nothing like a free XP pinata.
That was easy.
Nice, nice.
I think Vice can get his third special at, I want to say 12? I'm not 100% on that one. Once again, it's just a number that sticks in my mind. But you should have enough moonberries to check, I think.
I feel like it's a little tougher.
It's just fucking out of here.
He's just dipping.
Yeah, those things suck, man. I hope you're getting, like, a decent XP value out of them.
Ah, for the little fucking Magnemites.
Oh, yeah. I would
what's
call them
the-
little fucking metagrosses. Or metangs.
Is that the final evolution of Magnemite?
No.
Like it turns into a big fucking disc?
No, I know what you're talking about. I actually don't know what it's fucking called. If my parents taught me anything, they're all Pikachu anyway. No, Metagross and Metang is that giant blue fucking steel one from Ruby and Sapphire.
They're all Pikachu and they're all the devil. I never got the Pokemon as satanic, but I did get the Harry Potter was satanic. Turns out it's just transphobic, according to J.K. Rowling.
Magnezone is the fully evolved one.
Ah.
What was it? What the fuck was I gonna say? So I never had to deal with either growing up. However, my aunt is like turbo religious. So when my cousins were coming of the age to get into like Pokemon and stuff, my aunt looked into it, and of her own volition, she came to the conclusion.
Boss battle's coming up.
Well, you're 100% right. The boss battle is coming up. She came to the conclusion that Pokemon was not satanic, but Digimon was. Well, because Digimon straight up had Devimon, so
Yeah.
the actual devil kind of put it over the benchmark, I would say.
That's fantastic. Oh man. We really got the interesting end of that historical stick.
What, meaning the Satanic Panic?
Yeah. We didn't get the full-blown satanic panic, we just got the last dying embers of it.
I don't know, man. It seems like the fundies are always fucking going off about something.
I mean, they definitely have more political power now, but I think there's less cultural power.
I would say it's roughly the same. Like in the 80s, absolutely, definitely. I would say it's about the same as it was in the late 90s because Pokemon was still popular as fuck. Harry Potter was still popular as fuck.
I think you'd have a hard time convincing parents that like a large piece of media is satanic, though. Like, I think that's kind of relegated now to like fringe edges of like far right-wing conspiracy media.
Well, because now it's the fucking trans panic.
Yeah.
That's the fucking evil scapegoat now. And they don't need a singular piece of media, it's multiple pieces of media. She never saw the episode where Pikachu sacrificed Ash to their electric god? He passed through the lightning to Molag. Molag, I'm a fucking Molek! Too much Elder Scrolls, man, it rots the brain.
Give me that boss battle.
I want to say this guy is red, so purple away.
It's one of the Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Regigigas.
Hey man, I just came here for the rock.
I remember this guy has lasers, but I don't remember too much what he does. Oh no, he's yellow. He's
So
silver?
is he yellow?
I'm asking you. I know he does look like silver. Okay, you don't have yellow, Moonstone. You don't have silver, so hit him with whatever. It doesn't matter.
Green, red, and purple all do the same.
They should all be 100%.
I guess let's just attack him for right now. See what happens.
Here, he's a tough boy.
It's one of those fucking Studio Ghibli-esque ancient robots. Ooh, 2 attacks.
Well, the first one was a counter.
Oh, okay.
I believe
Just
it
smacked the shit out of me. Time for the Cutlass Supreme. I'm gonna need another couple of those.
Just a few. I mean, remember, you can have Ica focus to build up.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna start doing.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I spent half of her turns fucking focusing for Vice's specials. I seem to remember a particularly crippling special following that target search, but you didn't do it last time, so
Yeah,
maybe I'm just making up crap.
that's what I'm waiting for. Once again, I've said it before, but I like the creature design so far in this one.
I think it's neat.
Yeah, they're very weird.
No, you.
I think you might be able just be able to magic him to death. Crystales.
Yeah, you never got the big fuck you laser. Good shit.
Moon Prism makeup.
I swear to God, he had like some devastating fucking laser, but I don't know. You didn't get it good.
Some sort of hyper beam.
I think so. I don't remember.
Hell yeah, shitload of money.
I'm gonna
That's what a
look
pirate
it up.
wants to see. You see, if this was a D&D campaign, then immediately we'd be like, all right, how do we build this up and make it listen to us?
Yeah, I know that for certain because you guys have done it.
You can't throw a giant ancient robot at us and not expect us to want to put it back together.
I mean, I don't hate that you guys did that because that's a really cool plot hook.
And then try to give it some name out of classical literature and teach it stupid things.
Yeah, that's so weird. So it has
What?
attack, target search, and blaster. The Sentinel scans the area. This ability doesn't do anything except warn the players that blaster will be used on the next turn. But it never used blaster. The Sentinel charges up and fires its arm cannon straight ahead, inflicting heavy damage on anyone caught in the line of fire. Like, that's what I remember was the giant fuck you gun, but it never deigned to use it. Weird.
Weird. Alright, somebody familiar with that flag language the airports use. Tell us if Ben the Lookout's actually doing the correct flag signals.
He's just fucking bored.
Oh, stretching is important. You don't want to end up pulling something or aggravating your sciatica like I do. Oh, that's no bueno. Is this the part where my father dies?
Once again, I'll ask you if you genuinely want me to spoil it for you.
No, it's okay. I'm just openly asking myself. It's one thing if you kill my dad. It's another thing if you kill Pow Pow the dog.
That's how John Wick got started.
Get underground. Homie, there's not a whole lot of ground to get under.
They got a whole harbor down there. It'll be fine.
Galcian. I'm assuming I'll figure out who that is soon.
Right fucking now.
Ramirez.
Ramirez is a really interesting character.
Hey, he just has an interesting name. For some reason, he has a Mexican last name as a first name.
Now, there's a fair bit of that in this setting. Like, there's a character named Beliza.
I guess this is the part where we kind of start over. I end up having to build my own ship and my own crew to get revenge on my lost home and father.
Wow, it's like you've played these games before. That's not 100% accurate, but it's.
Did I hit a few notes?
Got close.
All right. Well, it's about to be midnight, so I'll go ahead and save it here.
So you didn't get to experience a lot of the unique aspects of the game, but what did you think so far?
It's a fun game. It's a fun JRPG so far. There's like nothing egregious about it. I like the design so far.
It doesn't suck and it's pretty.
Yeah, the gauge is an interesting addition, and of course the fucking the what is it? The fucking 6-pointed star of the weakness strength double triangles is cool.
So I will no, it's not even that. It's I'll send you the fucking spreadsheet because I don't know, do with it what you will.
All right, well, what are you gonna do next week when I'm gone on vacation instead of Kyle and Adam?
I got no fucking idea, man. Well, I mean, it's not gonna be D&D. Shit. I don't know. Maybe we'll play something. I genuinely have no idea. I'll pull something together at the last minute.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys had fun. I want to try playing more JRPGs on stream, so hopefully this is the first of many.
Yeah, so definitely if you guys enjoyed this, let us know. Feedback appreciated.
If you want me to play a Kiba strip next, I'll swallow my pride and do it.
Ironically, I almost ended up streaming Akiba Strip myself. Because remember when I was doing CSVS Chaz streams vampire stuff?
No, that game has vampires in it, right?
I mean, vampires. If you squint real hard, but it was close enough that I was gonna put it on the list, and then CSVS died long before I ever got to it. But it was almost an option. But yeah,
I gotta finish getting my shopping list ready for Gen Con, as well as my getting ready for my events.
All right, best of luck, buddy. I hope you have fun, you and Oni and your cousin, niece, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right, well, thanks for streaming. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know how you felt about it. I certainly would like to see more just because I love this game so much. I've already shilled for it really heavy. I also did that. I also saved multiple times in a row. We will see you fine folks next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.